Hello, my name is Arethia Brooks, and welcome to my channel here at Essentials to a Journey, where we discuss all things mindset. I am a health and wellness coach, but primarily my focus is on self-care and mindset. On this channel, I do focus specifically on mindset. If you are interested in any of the self-care concepts, ideas, and things that I have to just say in general on self-care, please feel free to check the link down below to subscribe or even to check out some of my content there. And if this is your first time, welcome to my channel. If you are returning, welcome back. So let's go ahead and get into today's topic of discussion, which is about showing up for yourself even when it's messy. And the reason this topic, I want to say, is so important right now is because I feel like the whole world is shifting, that there's so much going on in the world as of lately. You know, this year has been, for me personally, a real jumping off point for a lot of things. I've been feeling very active and inspired to take action, and I can only imagine that the world around me is probably feeling the same. So maybe this is a message that you want to tune into, or maybe this is something that you might need to hear. But I do feel as if the world around is shifting, and that there's so much going on right now for so many people. And some of it feels great, you know, and I personally have my moments where I know I feel like everything is going so well. But there are also some times, and there are some moments where it feels like everything is falling apart or breaking apart. And so if that is the case, then this is probably the message for you. So again, today's topic is showing up for yourself even when it's messy. And what does this mean? This can mean a lot of different things for so many different people, but let's just start out with it, for example, from a mental standpoint. Showing up for yourself mentally, even when it's messy, is about having the intrusive thoughts, having the thoughts that are overriding your dominant vibration, which is maybe you feel really good, having thoughts that are not so ideal, so they are maybe more centered towards past events, past circumstances that made you feel less than, that brought a lot of fear, brought lots of anxiety, you know, anything that is shifting you or causing reasons for concern, or just making you feel as if you are not your highest and best self. So that's what I mean mentally messy. You know, when things are not happening ideal for us, we tend to relapse, we tend to spiral out of control. And I can only imagine that if you are feeling this mentally and you are just spiraling, you probably are. Maybe you're in tears, maybe you feel lots of anxiety, maybe you want to reach for something, maybe you're grasping at something, maybe the tension, you're feeling it in the body. And a way that I would suggest, or even say that you can allow yourself to deal with this while it's happening, is to be present with it, to not disallow the thoughts, to not push against the thoughts, because anything you push against, it's like you're creating more tension and more resistance towards, and so it just builds up, you know, it expands. The saying, what you resist persists. And in this case, if you're resisting those mental thoughts and you're downplaying it and you're pretending as if it's not there, it will just continue to override you. It will continue to push and persist until you pay attention to what is showing up for you. So if you're having those messy thoughts, you're having those thoughts that feel more out of control and out of alignment with who you know yourself to be and what you are claiming for yourself, then this is an opportunity to even go deeper into your practices, into your mental practices. So if all of this is happening for you, and note I said happening for you, not to you, but for you, you want to sit with it. You want to allow yourself. So say you had a moment today where it felt so messy that you collapsed, you are on your couch and you were feeling so good. You know, you were at your office, you were sitting at your desk, and everything just felt so good, and you just had a downward spiral. And you felt so out of control. You were in tears. You were having so much anxiety. You're pacing the floor. Your heart is racing. That's an opportunity to pay attention to what's happening. So life is telling you, hey, listen, we've been dealing with this for a very long time now. Are we going to continue to persist in this? Or are we going to allow this to be what it is, pay attention to it, and then let it be just what it is in order for us to find relief within our body, within our mind? So again, this is an opportunity to go deeper. So if you found yourself in some sort of collapse, that's okay. Be with it. Be with the thoughts. Be with the emotions. Allow it to be present the way that you would soothe a child. For example, if you are someone, you have kids or you've babysat kids, they can spiral, and that's comparing that to our own inner child. We spiral. So when kids spiral, you don't necessarily, I think if you are a considerate person and you're compassionate, you're not going to tell the child, stop behaving in that way, stop that crying. No, what you do is you soothe the child, right? We soothe the child. We say, everything's going to be okay. It's okay to cry, or you're just there with the child as the child is going through the emotional states. In the same way that you offer that grace, that compassion, you can show that grace and compassion towards yourself. You can be there for yourself and say, everything's going to be okay. This is not the end. If it was, then I wouldn't be crying, or I wouldn't be in this spiral. You can be present and you can soothe that inner child, however it feels good for you. And you meet yourself where you are. You don't, again, disallow, and you don't tell yourself this isn't happening. You sit with the emotions, you sit with the thoughts, and you tell yourself that things that you need to tell yourself in order to move through it. Not to push against it, not to force things to be different, but to just sit with it and then soothe yourself and say, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to be exactly where we are. This is a part of the process. And then from that jumping off place, you can begin to shift and move the energy. And what I mean by this is, once you've allowed yourself the tears, once you've allowed yourself to grieve, once you've allowed yourself to be with those thoughts and emotions, eventually you'll tire yourself out. Eventually the energy will begin to shift. You'll notice a change within your body, physically and emotionally. And that's when you can begin to tell yourself a new story. That's when you can you can become more acquainted with the narrative, the narrative or the direction that you're intending to go towards. So again, the mess is it's a part of the process. The mess is part of the process. Comment that down below if you're feeling this, and if you're understanding, or if you're having a moment and you're in a season of change. Because I think a lot of us need to, bear witness to this, bear witness to the changes that are happening for us. Not to us, again, for us. So show up for yourself, even when it's messy, mentally, physically, spiritually. Don't deny it. Don't deny the emotions. Don't deny the physical process, whether you're crying or you're pacing or your heart's racing. Bear witness to it. Maybe you need to put your hand over your heart, and maybe you just need to be with your heartbeat. Maybe you need to be with your breath. Maybe your breath is speeding up more than usual. Maybe you need to sit with that in order to move through it. It's possible that, again, mentally or spiritually you're not okay, and that's okay. Your spirit is trying to get your attention so that you can gracefully and with ease move through this, because there's something greater for you on the other side. If you can just bear witness to everything that's going on, I promise you something better is on the other side waiting for you. The relief that you want, the ease that you want, the joy, the grace, the husband, the wife, the children, the house, the better, the more improved vibrational place or emotions. It's all waiting for you on the other side. But first, you must just get acquainted with the mess. and this is all temporary. Everything is just temporary, right? So that is all I have to say for today. I hope you've gotten something out of this. If so, again, please feel free to comment down below your season of change, if you feel comfortable with expressing that, or commenting that, because we're building a community here where we're all able to share our thoughts, our opinions, and be here for each other, because the world is changing, and internally we are all changing. So if you have not already, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to this. Maybe there's someone that needs to hear this message. Share this with them if you feel free to do so. And until next time, I wish you lots of peace, light, and so much love.